Welcome back to Embrace the Cancel. Ever just feel like you're shifting dimensions? I know that sounds silly, right? But I had this thing happen today. I'm pretty sure it's because you can have like multiple times set on your watch or whatever, but I had I don't know what the time was. It was like an hour beforehand, and I looked at it and I then saw that on my phone it was actually an hour ahead. And I realized I didn't have as much time to go to the gym as I thought I did. So I took off and I went to the gym to go and get some exercise, which now I'm realizing that, yeah, funny. There's a lot of wind here, so this is gonna be a hard one to do. But anyway, so, shifting dimensions, right? What does that mean? What does it mean to be, I don't know, entering a new dimension in terms of your own experience, your life, your just things that you're doing, right? And just, I'm holding my ear here over my AirPods. A lot of wind sounds. If you look at things in terms of your overall experience and the quality of it, and just imagine for a moment, right, that instead of whatever it is that you're experiencing this as, right, imagine for a moment that it changes, right? I think I might have figured out how to do this. Let's see. Just right here where it's like a little building for shelter. This is perfect. This is perfect, I think. We'll see. So yeah, just imagine in terms of your overall life experience, right? You want to shift. What does it mean to make a shift, right? So to make a shift, what we have to do is we have to change something, right? So in order to change things, we have to be willing to take an honest look at ourselves, our lives, what's working, what's not working, and really just kind of be honest with ourselves, right? And once we are able to do that, then we can start going through things with a fine-tooth comb, right? So basically just like looking at your habits, looking at your choices. I know it's kind of a silly thing to do, but I used ChatGPT to look over our conversations over the last like 6 months or so, and just kind of analyze, hey, based on what we've talked about, what I've shared, what are patterns that you can see, right? What are some things that you can see that are maybe unconscious patterns, or things that are maybe holding me back, or potentially leading to issues in terms of life, career, mindset, etc., right? And it did it. And it was like, hey, you're gonna have, basically it said something akin to, you're gonna have to sit down for this, right? And I started to read it and I was just like, whoa, oh my goodness, this is some heavy stuff, right? A lot of it was patterns that were prevalent between multiple different things that I was doing in my life. It wasn't in just one area, but it was like in all of the areas. So I started to realize that, oh, okay, well, I guess that's not a coincidence, right? There are patterns that are prevalent and can influence different areas of my life, and I can continue to justify those things to myself, right? I can say, I'm doing this and I'm doing that because of whatever the specific reason is and whatever the purpose is that it serves, right? But at the end of the day, there are going to be things that you do that you may be, emotionally or just habitually tied to, that you really feel are necessary, that are actually not helping you out much, right? And so I started to explore that a little bit further. I started to look into how can I keep the patterns that are working, right? Like some of the things that I've figured out over time are trial and error. Things that I tried to do the traditional way did not work. And so therefore I adjusted and adapted my outcomes so that I could do things differently, so that it would work for me. I could be more resilient, do things better in the long run, and actually see more success in certain areas where I had not in the past. So I felt like, okay, it's important to look at things that you're doing that are maybe not working, but also be able to see what does. And once you're able to see what does, you're able to see, maybe out of all the things that you do that are working, where are the patterns in all of that are still kind of dysfunctional, that maybe you could change without disrupting the whole, right? The larger system that you've created for yourself, whether you know it or not. We all kind of create systems in our lives with our own actions, our choices, our decisions, what we choose to surround ourselves with, who we choose to surround ourselves with, what we choose to do versus what we are maybe not up to doing and taking part in. All of those things matter, but it's kind of unconscious at a certain level, because we do tend to settle into patterns and routines some of which, again, which serve us and some which don't. And what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to create a meditation. I actually already did. I did it at the end of that session that I was talking about, where it was using CBT, EFT, and EMDR therapy, and I put them all together into one meditation. So far what I've managed to create is just a beta version, and I took a short nap today for about an hour, and I listened to it while I slept, and it actually worked really, really well. It was like I heard the first part of it and I actually fell asleep by the end of it, but then I listened to it again after I woke up, and I realized this is actually really good for allowing release of certain patterns and stresses and different things that you hold on to, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adapt that meditation to be a little more generalized, to be able to be used for anyone, and I'm going to put it together with some music and some relaxing sounds and things. I'm going to post it online, and I'm going to put a link to it as well so that you guys can access that. And I think this is going to be the start of something new, because I'm going to use these, and I know that they're going to help me because I've been developing these kinds of systems and these kinds of tools over years, just doing it kind of manually. But what I want to do is I want to start to make these. I want to make them publicly available, and I hope that you can find the kind of value that I find in these kinds of things. And so yeah, I'll leave you with that for now, and just think about your patterns. If you have tools at your disposal that you can use to identify and try to fine-tune your choices and your decisions so that you can get over patterns that are no longer serving you, right? Like the cancel, that's what we talk about, canceling what no longer serves us. Again, that's a thing that it sounds so negative. It's like, oh, well, if you have a friendship and that person's holding you back, you should cancel it, right? Or, oh, a job, you don't like it, cancel it, right? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you canceling what's happening within you that is holding you back. So food for thought, and like and subscribe for more similar content. I would love to hear what you have to say, and stay tuned for that meditation because I am going to be posting it. I think I'll be putting it in a link in the very next video that I post.